Thank you. I have a question about stages that we go. I read the first one, Power of Now, changed my life, and then I came to a new earth. Thank you for paradise. And so the stages, the truck, you get stuck, you either accept, and then the next one is you enjoy. And so I already went to enthusiasm.
Right.
So I found my enthusiasm, what I thought, but then it felt like the ego. So is there a way to know which one is which? It's like, okay, so am I enthusiastic because this is what the universe is pushing me to do, or is it just me trying to be, I'm the enlightened one, I'm the spiritual one, or so on?
Okay, I understand. Yes, thanks. So that goes back to, in a New Earth, I think I wrote that the three modalities of being. If you're not in one of the three modalities, you're in a state that is not harmonious and egoic or dysfunctional. The three modalities: acceptance, you either, whatever you need to do, or whatever the situation is, you accept it. If you cannot enjoy it, there's some things you can't enjoy, but you can accept that this is what is. Acceptance then is that important. Others, enjoyment comes in. Enjoy their work, see if you can enjoy it, rather than just accept that anything you do with resentment is a dysfunctional state causing suffering. Without knowing it, you're causing it to yourself. In any state of resentment, you're doing it, but you resent doing it. You are somewhere, but you really don't want to be there, but you are there. So these are states of dysfunctional states that are actually cause suffering. You cause it unnecessarily to yourself without knowing it. So acceptance, enjoyment, there's a flow in what you do. You are present in what you know where you're going, but you're fully present in the process of moving towards there. The movement is more important than where you want to get to. And then the enthusiasm is the stage that I describe as happening during the creative process. When a new thing, when you are giving birth to something new in whatever form, there can be an enormous influx of energy that I call enthusiasm, which is the ancients believed that there was a higher spirit moving through you at that time, because, literally, enthusiasm means in God. So enthusiasm is the stage of creativity. Now, your question is correct. It can sometimes, there can be excited egoic states masquerading as enthusiasm. And sometimes, at first sight, not easy to tell the difference, because you're on a high, you're on an egoic high. Now, there are some signs by which you can recognize whether or not it's the ego or whether there's a deeper creative process, consciousness wanting to create something through you. One thing you can recognize the ego by is when you encounter obstacles to whatever your action is in that state of either enthusiasm or egoic excitement. When you encounter obstacles, the ego, if it's the ego, you will quickly fall into negative states the moment you encounter obstacles to what you're doing. If it's true enthusiasm, you do not fall into negative states when obstacles arise. And obstacles will arise in any creative endeavor. It's something that doesn't mean you're supposed to stop when an obstacle arises. Then you look at an obstacle and see either you can use it and transform it and incorporate it into what you do, or you can bypass it. That's how true enthusiasm. But the ego gets resentful when an obstacle comes. It takes it as a personal insult. So that's a good sign that it's egoic and not. And another sign, of course, is always, but that is more when you're getting towards the end of the achievement, when you have achieved something, and it does not satisfy you soon after achieving it, then you know it was the ego too. So you always know the ego. There's a satisfaction, but not short-lived when it's ego. So the Course in Miracles actually tells you you can always recognize an egoic goal when you achieve it by realizing that it hasn't satisfied you.
That makes, thank you, of course it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, when I do get creative, I write, and I write the stages, and it just makes sense, and I know I'm not writing it. It has to do with autism with my child, and I'm like, but this makes sense. How come nobody has thought of this? And when I show it to people, they say, oh, well, yeah, this is great. So I know that this is where I'm going, and I know it's not me. It's not this form doing it.
Yes.
So that's how I know. And then I find obstacles, and then it teaches me about me, because now the pain body comes and says, well, but I have to be nice. Now I have to be nice. But that's not this form. This form is not nice.
Yes.
Sorry. This form has to be...
yeah, I know what you mean. We know what you mean.
I know you know what you mean. Oh my God.
The form is nice too. But there's something nicer even than that.
Yes,
that
because
shines
that's
through.
what
Yes.
you have to do. Like I heard like sometimes the universe wants to kick someone. That
Yeah.
is what you have to do. It's
Yeah.
not violent, but that is what.
Yes. Now,
And that's
another
what-
thing, the ego, of course, also whenever there's an ego endeavor with that kind of excitement that sometimes goes with ego. I just mentioned the obstacle, that when an obstacle arises, there will be resentment and negativity. And also you recognize the ego when there's always an excessive focus on the end result that it wants to achieve. So it's very excited about the end result that it wants to get to. All the doing is a means to getting to the end result. And yes, it is excited about getting there. It imagines getting there. But in the meantime, the state of consciousness that underlies your action or your activity is not the highest.
Yes.
There can be a lot of stress arising with it, and
But it's not really stress, because I don't know what the end result is.
Yes.
I don't know, and that's what teaching is like. This is not me, because I don't know. I don't know what the end result, and it doesn't matter. It's not like it doesn't matter, but it's a different.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It's like it's okay either or, but it's the process that when I'm going is, should I stop now? Will I stop because I have to be nice, and well, that's just how it is. But that doesn't. This feeling doesn't let me. It just pushes me. It's like, no, you have to keep going.
Yes.
I was like, why can't I just be nice? Why can't I just stay here and then do
Okay.
yoga?
You got
but
it.
no, that this form is meant for something else.
Thank you.